please.
I want to bring out simple technique of meditation. It is awareness. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do any exercises. You don't need to watch any diet. This is fundamental, which is called Advaita Vedanta. Advaita means non-dual. There is only one reality and there is nothing beyond that. I will explain that concept in a simplified form. Whatever we perceive is not really real. I will explain from the standpoint of quantum physics, which has proven that, and also Vedanta philosophy. Whenever we see anything, we are not really seeing it. It is illusion. When we see something, take example, there are 5 senses, take example of eyes. We see something, so the one who sees, eyes see it. So I is a subject and whatever I see is the object. Eyes are subject and other is object. Eyes only one, but object changes, right? I look at here, but I look up there. So there are different objects, but subject is one, right? Subject changes. Eyes don't change. Eyes are constant because eyes is constant and a reference. Subject and object relation, that knower and known. But we look at the eyes. Again, eyes don't really see it. Eyes see because of the mind. Because mind is not present, then eyes, one is unconscious, eyes are open, but doesn't see. So really, mind sees, eyes are object. Mind is the subject, eyes are object. Same way, ears could be object, tongue could be object, skin could be object. So subject is steady, object changes. Eyes are steady, subject changes, but eyes change. Eyes see different things. Eyes could be closed, eyes could have ailment, but mind is always there. So mind is really sees. Okay, but mind again is observer beyond the mind. That is, consciousness observes the mind, because mind is also changing. There is some witness, some consciousness witnesses mind changing, because mind thinks one way, emotions change, everything is changing. So consciousness is constant. So if we look at the whole picture, I'm seeing something with the eyes because of the mind, and consciousness registers it. Consciousness is constant, mind changes. Consciousness is constant. When we were thinking one way or another way, our thinking changed. Consciousness is constant when we were young, we were middle-aged, we are now. Everything is changing. So only permanent thing is consciousness. Okay. But because of illusion or Maya, we consider that is object to be real thing. That means we consider world to be real, because world doesn't exist unless consciousness exists. Our body doesn't exist if consciousness doesn't exist. Our mind doesn't exist if consciousness doesn't exist. So who are we? We are consciousness. Though we consider our body, we are consciousness. But then this consciousness in my body or my being observes this. But how about her or other people, right? So are there many consciousness? No. There is constant one consciousness that is reflected through different consciousness to get different experiences. So in other words, entire universe is ocean of consciousness, unified field of consciousness. Each individual is like a wave in the ocean of consciousness. So ocean is always there, whether there are waves or not. Waves cannot exist without ocean. Ocean can exist without the waves. This you have to think, I'm making it short. So really we are like waves. At the same time we are the ocean. So meditation is to remember we are the ocean even though we function as a wave. We function as a body, but at the same time we are the consciousness. Another example is gold and gold ornament. You have golden necklace, golden band, golden earrings, but really essence is gold. Like metal, from metal different things are made. But if this is brass, brass is the same thing, though there are name and forms are different. Same way, all of us have different names and form. Different names and forms, different name, different size, shape, different objects have different name and different forms. But in reality, it is the same reality. So from Vedanta philosophy says, everything with a name and form is illusion. And this is how we can see. Because consciousness remains, all this change. Even we are born and we die, consciousness remains. So that is permanent reality. From standpoint of quantum physics, entire universe is nothing but unified field of consciousness. Everything other than that is mostly empty space. There is nothing solid, no solid substance in the universe. Also, other point is, if something was united one time, or one time was intact, when it is separated, still it maintains its quality individually, like separate elements maintain the same quality. They did experiments splitting a photon or atom 13 miles apart, something like that. And whatever it was done to one, same thing happened to another one. So at one time, everything and everyone came from Big Bang, from nothing. Nothing is just like a small atom or even a nucleus. From nucleus, we all came. So we are all connected. And they say, if all the matters of the entire universe is compacted, it will turn into size of a peanut. Everything is empty space. Like this empty. Walls are empty space. So what is it? It is the energy. We cannot penetrate the wall because it's an energy and vibration. So everything is vibrating at different frequency. So from standpoint of quantum physics and science, entire universe is unified field of consciousness. There is only one consciousness and everything else is vibration and energy and mostly empty space.
So get back to the ocean again, right?
Yes.
So Brahman is the ocean?
Yes.
And the waves are Atman?
No, Brahman and Atman are identical.
Okay.
Everything with a name and form, everything we see is illusion. Okay. Showing from other standpoint, a mirror remains the same. Different people go in front and shows different thing, but mirror is constant. Same way, eyes are constant, mind is constant, consciousness is constant, relatively speaking. So everything we perceive with five senses is illusion. Okay. What is the reality is what is beyond the mind. So just ultimate point. Ultimate meditation is to dissolve the mind.
So the observer never changes? The observer never changes, or the observer?
Observer is a relative. Eyes are subject and object are relative. Eyes are subject, everything is object. Mind is a subject, senses are the object. Consciousness is a subject, mind is the
Does
object.
the consciousness ever change? I mean,
Right.
what's behind
Consciousness observes. So consciousness is subtler than the mind. Okay. Consciousness doesn't have size or shape. It doesn't feel pleasure or pain. It just observes. Just a light is observer.
Is that kind of-
Light
kind of-
doesn't care whether what we do in the room.
Right.
So observer is observer, and there is observer who observes the observer. There is only one observer, that is unified field. So there is only one consciousness. So it is illusion that to believe I and you are separate. So that is the concept all the scriptures and masters bring out. But for practical practice, practical aspect is anything happens, you remain as observer. Like somebody honors you, right? You identify yourself with the emotions, right? Instead of saying, I'm observing, the emotions are negative emotions. Somebody praises you, feel. So instead of identifying with the emotions or mind, you remain observer. So this is the meditation practice. You remain observer of everything. You remain observer of pain. You become observer of honor, observer of insult. And this practice, if you practice, then you become free from lots of suffering. So that is, and what do you need to do? Nothing. Just become an observer. But because of Maya, we forget. Like when we are hungry, we forget, I'm observer. We become the stomach. And this is why it is very difficult. But if you apply this principle to be an observer, you will get out of many miseries. Okay, does this make sense? Be an observer.
You know what, is there something possible that you can tell us to trigger the observer? Because what happens when I notice
Yes.
with me and everybody else is
Yes.
we get caught up into it.
Right. Simplest technique is slow down the breathing. If you slow down the breathing, mind will slow down. Then you can go beyond the mind. Okay. So imagine so many people are caught into object, like I possess this, or I possess my family or this or that. Imagine, instead of this possession, if they cultivate the approach of I am an observer, there is tremendous freedom.